Hey friend, Roger Christofferson here with another first listen review. It's also another first listen review that I've listened to a couple times. Still counts because I did it in a row. So that's the rule I'm sticking with. This is Skid Row's brand new one, The Gang's All Here. Didn't really know what to expect from this one. I've actually been watching a few of the interviews and a little web things they've done on their channel there. I forget what they webisodes or something like that they call them. And some of the live stuff that they've been putting out there with the new singer. They actually just played here really close to my town. They did a show with Quiet Riot, Warrant, and themselves headlining here just last weekend. So felt like this would be a good time to do it. I don't know. Let's just get right into it. There's a lot I got to say to it. I was going to jump right into it, but they got this new singer who is new to the band, but he's really not that new to the scene. His name is Grönwall, or Grönwall maybe. I don't really know how you pronounce it. It's got the umlauts on it, so it could be pronounced the Grönwall. But anyway, he has been with the band. He was like a Idol winner or something over in Sweden or something. I actually don't remember now, but he won that. The funny part is he actually was on Jesus Christ Superstar, one of the televised concerts of that, where he played one of the smaller characters who I don't remember. It's kind of funny that he was in that, and if you remember, Sebastian Bach was actually portrayed Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, and like an off-Broadway version of it. I actually got to see that. I had forgotten until I started listening to this, and I was just kind of looking up the history of Eric here, and I saw that in there. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I actually had forgotten. I actually went out and saw Sebastian in that, and he actually sang phenomenally well. It was crazy how good he was in that. He was like right on key. He did the screams. Like, I don't know if you've heard the version with Ian Gillan singing on it. He reminded me of how Ian Gillan sang on that album, and it just, I remember being really cool. So anyway, I thought that was kind of neat. And he's got Eric's got a couple solo albums out that I've never heard those, but I'm a fan of the band h.e.a.t, so I was kind of familiar with them. Anyway, he did like 4 albums with them. And the funny part is I didn't even know that Tommy Thart, I think that's how you pronounce his name, the guy that was from Dragon Force that was singing with him for a few years, was out until they announced that Eric was the new singer. So that was the beginning of the year, here back in, I don't know, January, February, somewhere back in that beginning of the year. So anyway, I've been kind of looking forward to this one. They had that single, The Gang's All Here title track out a few months ago. I thought that was a pretty good song, so I was actually kind of interested in this. Just personal opinion, first 2 Skid Row albums, I love those first 2. Subhuman Race is where they kind of started losing me a little bit. Even the band themselves said they were trying to be heavier. They were really influenced by Pantera after they'd been out there playing with them. And you can hear it. I don't think Sebastian was singing that great on that album. I'm probably going to get some hate for that. And everything from that point on, in my opinion, has just been terrible. I mean, they actually tried to redo I Remember You with I think it's called I Remember You 2 with Salinger singing on it. That is just horrible. It's unlistenable. So I really lost interest in Skid Row for many years. And I'm also going to say I'm not one of these guys that's like, there's no Skid Row without Sebastian. I think that's kind of dumb. There's a lot of bands out there that have gone on with different singers that have gone on to do great. I mean, I just used Ian Gillan as an example, but he was not the original lead singer of Deep Purple, but their biggest songs and everything were with them. David Coverdale was also in Deep Purple. That's just one example right there. Rainbow, it's gone on with a couple different singers. It's still Rainbow. I know it was Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, maybe a little different there, but still, there's bands that have changed singers that have gone on to do great things. So I'm not in that camp where it's not, Skid Row without Sebastian. And I don't know if you've heard, I sound like I'm ragging on Sebastian, but I'll say this. My band Brandy Live was first get forming, and we went through a couple different singers to begin with. And funny part is there, we actually auditioned the lead singer from Train. A lot of people don't know that, but and I can't even think of his name right now, but actually we auditioned him. Our goal was we used to say it all the time, was to find our Sebastian Bach. I mean, he was like the guy we were trying to find for our band. We could find guys that could perform like him and stuff and sing close. We finally got a singer who, in my opinion, like blew all the other singers away and sang even better than Sebastian Bach. So you have to go check out Brady Live stuff online. Just self-plug there. But anyway, later stuff, Sebastian's, man, he's just not holding up. There's no other way to say it. His voice is just not what it used to be. He's older now. Probably has not taken care of his voice in the way he sings. Obviously, Eric's a lot younger, but he's still got a few years under his belt. He's been out there doing it for quite a while now. But anyway, that being said, we'll get into this. I know I'm kind of like prolonging getting into the album here, but let's just get into it. I don't usually go, well, I guess I have gone through track by track on a few of these, but lately I haven't been doing that. But this one is like a rockin' album. There's like only one slower, and it's not slow, it's just a slower song on this whole album. It kicks in with the song Hell or High Water, just kicks in. That song just kind of rocks. And then it goes into the single, Gang's All Here, which I imagine a lot of you guys have heard. I really like that song. It's got the big vocals in it. And he sings great on this. He's getting all the high notes like we like to hear on all the earlier stuff. And he's not trying to copy Sebastian's singing style. He doesn't have that same vibrato that Sebastian has. And I'd say a lot of these songs he sings like perfect, like on key. When Sebastian did that like pretty good on the first two albums, then Subhuman Race he started singing off key a lot, and he's one of those guys that gets away with it. He gets like a pass, like the Bruce Dickinson pass, where it actually sounds kind of cool singing off key. And it could be, these days there's a lot of auto-tune and stuff that people use to, get the pitch more correct. So there could be some of that going on this album. I don't know, but I personally don't like the auto-tune. So, there's a Seventh Wonder album that just came out that's got auto-tune on it, and that singer's amazing. He doesn't need it. Actually makes it sound worse. So sometimes auto-tune is not most of the time it's not a good thing, even though I've used it myself. Just getting that in there. Anyway, then it goes into Not Dead Yet, which was okay. It wasn't the greatest song I've heard on it. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it was And then Time Bomb, which I think is the second single they come out with. That's got a killer riff in it, but that tick, 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 tick thing in there drives me insane. It's like he sings great on this, but that tick, tick, tick thing, it's kind of grating on me. I don't like that. So I probably won't listen to that song a lot, even though the rest of it's really good. That tick, tick, tick thing just drives me nuts. Song number 5, Resurrected, is great. Got a cool killer riff in it. It's just heavy. It's just got a cool riff. And Nowhere Fast, another one, just killer riff. Just sings great on this. The choruses are catchy and they're heavy. I wanted to make a note on When the Lights Go Down, song number 7. That one, it sounds like it could have been taken right off the debut album, the self-titled Skid Row album. It's got that Piece of Me type bass line going on. And Rachel Bolan is a killer bass player, and he writes a lot of the songs and a lot of the lyrics too. He always has. And I always admired his songwriting style, because I kind of grew up listening to this stuff, and I always thought it was pretty cool. He's got a really good style too, his playing. Tear It Down, another great song. That one's got a really cool, heavy riff going on to it as well. Big chorus. I really like that song a lot. And then the slower one, which is way here down at track number 9, it's October song. It's funny because I was listening to it, I go, man, this reminds me of early Iron Maiden, Paul Di'Anno type Iron Maiden stuff. Just I could hear bits and pieces of that in there. And then the funny part is it ends with World on Fire, which was kind of like the track of the whole album. It really wasn't that great of a song, so it kind of ended on a weak note. But the first 9, great. I loved it. I think you guys should give this a try. I really think if I was to rate the albums, this first one, second one, and then this one, I would put those all right in order. I think those three albums are sound like Skid Row. This album sounds like Skid Row. It doesn't sound like Sebastian Bach. So if you're looking for that, he sings, in the same register of the early stuff. He's got all his higher screams and all that stuff going on in there. A lot of great guitar work on it. Scotty Hill is a killer guitar player. He does not get the credit he deserves. You listen to those solos on like I Remember You and 18 in Life, they are like a song within a song, and he's killing it on these. I'm going to listen to this album actually probably quite a few times. I really like this album. It's been a while since I've heard a band that's been around, a lot of tenure, and put out a good album lately. I've been kind of let down by a lot of these later releases. This one I think is going to hold in there. Maybe I'm ranting and raving a little bit too much about it, but maybe not. I guess it's just we all have our own tastes and our own opinions, but the only thing I can suggest is go into it with an open mind. It's not Sebastian Bach.'s never coming back. Quite honestly, Sebastian couldn't sing this album. He couldn't do this album, so he doesn't have it anymore. And that's not to be mean. It's just that's just the way life is sometimes. And he's doing what he does, and he's doing it pretty good. I like his solo stuff too. It's just I don't think you're ever going to see those guys come back together again. And after hearing this, it doesn't really bother me. The show he did, here was great. He sang killer. And you get bands like Warrant, like that open for them. They got a new singer, Rob Mason, killer vocalist. He doesn't sound anything like Janie Lane. And I personally don't think he fits in Warrant. Eric here fits right in with this style of music. I think he steps in and takes the place like he can. They've had a couple other singers here. Tony Harnell sang for a couple months, I guess. But the ZP there sang for him for a little while. Killer singer. I've seen the stuff online and we're saying it's okay, but it doesn't. I never thought it fit. I think Eric fits right in, and if you go in with that state of mind, I think you're probably really going to like this album. It sounds like a Skid Row album. It's like the Skid Row album I've been waiting for all these years, like years and years. So enough of my ranting and raving. I could probably go on and say some more stuff about this, and I'll just let you guys check it out for yourself, but I really can't recommend this one enough. It's just nice to hear an album I'm actually really liking. Obviously, you guys are probably going to tear me up if you don't agree with it. Hope you guys like it, though. Don't kill me too much for talking bad about Sebastian. I really didn't intend to talk bad about him. It's just, it is what it is. So, leave your thoughts, like, subscribe, all that stuff I always have to ask for. And we'll talk to you guys later. See ya.